Morning, Teresa and Slusher Antique. And the reptile guy. Welcome in. Good morning. Switching or stitching flock custom pillows is here. Mom of two redheads is here. Bobbin and Weaving is here. Welcome in. WS. Did I see someone named WS? That seemed like a short name. More is here. Welcome in. Just something about it is here. WS. Oh, custom flock, custom stitching flock, custom pillows. It on the other screen, it put the WS at the end. That's why I was like, what? Trickish. J. Coops Threads is here. PJ's Patchwork is here. Kathy Levert is here. Welcome, welcome. How's everyone doing this morning? I'm excited. The sun is shining today. Yesterday was rainy all day long and dreary. And I was like, just kidding, spring's not here. But this morning the sun's shining, so I think it's here. And it's May 1st, so there you go. Oh, you got our weather. Sorry. Yeah. Well, what's up today? What's up with whatnot, folks, today? How's everyone's shows going? I haven't done this in a while. Tell us where you are coming from, because there's been a lot of new people coming on, and I'm always curious to see where people are from. So I must have sent the dreary, rainy weather here also, darn it. Wisconsin, just something about it. Pampa, Texas. Hey, Lisa by Design. Ohio, Mississippi. I'm always curious to see where people are from. Illinois. Hey, Sage Mama, we're telling everybody where you're coming from, where you're streaming from, where you live. Michigan. Bobbin and Weaving is here in Utah with me. I think I remember that. Gulfport, Mississippi. Bobbin and Weaving, have you had shows yet? Yes, you have. There we go. You have one today at 6:30. Let me make sure I bookmark your shows. I'm so busy that I don't always remember everybody's. Oh, you've been sick recently, okay? Because I haven't seen you on recently, but you've got one scheduled tonight. Are you going to have it? Hopefully you're feeling better. And remind me what part of our fair state you live in. Are you close to me, far away from me? I don't remember. Are you in Layton? That's right. So not like super far, but not super close either. Because I'm down south of Provo. So you'll see how you feel. Okay, well, hopefully you feel better. Layton is a big area for fabric and crafting. I see a lot of action in that area as far as like, just people talking about it on social media, listings, etc. So lots of action in that county. Yeah, a lot of crafters in that area. All right. North Carolina, Gulfport, Mississippi. And Lisa is from Michigan. Welcome, everybody. Thanks for joining. Read the show notes. Make sure you give everybody a follow and bookmark each other's shows. Melissa's here from North Dakota. Nice. I always like to see people from the Dakotas. I feel like it's one of the parts of the country that kind of gets, I mean, I don't mean to say this in a rude way, but it kind of just gets kind of forgotten. It's just there. Do you feel that way, Melissa? I don't know. It's like I think about the Dakotas and I'm like, oh, yeah. And it's a place I need to go. I haven't never been through the Dakotas because it's never on the way to anywhere I've been. So Allie is in Iowa and you don't find local crafters there. Oh, okay. I do see quite a few people, um, on like quilting groups and stuff from that area. So Melissa says yes, and everyone thinks we're cold all the time. Well, are you cold all the time in North Dakota versus South Dakota? There's a reason it's North and South. Is the North Dakota colder? Just a question. So, well, I'm in Utah and people always think it's cold here, and it is a lot of times, but the summers are quite hot. Utah is actually a high plateau desert in most of the areas. I live really, really close to the mountains though, so the weather is really unpredictable where I live. The little community I live in is right up next to the mountains. So it's warmer up here in the winter the last few years than down south. Oh, interesting. So, yeah. Thanks for stopping in, Kathy. Have a good session. Take care. The 1799 house is in Maine, which makes sense. You don't have 1799 houses down here in the West much. There's a few, but not very many. So bobbin and weaving, you have a trip, or my trip you're talking about. When is my trip? So I'm going to China at the middle of June through the 1st of July. So it's coming up fast. So I'm taking my daughter to China. She was born in China, and this will be her first time going back. So we're excited. We've been trying to go back for a few years, but life got in the way and then COVID got in the way. So yeah. Let's see. Melissa says, yes, sometimes we are going to go from 50s yesterday to 80s this weekend. Wow, that's a big swing. Just something about it had one of the scariest drives in my life, driving from Missoula to Seattle in a thunderstorm. Ooh, I bet that's a pretty treacherous drive sometimes. I've driven that route quite a few times. We used to live in Washington State, about 2 hours north of Seattle, right on the Canadian border. And so, yeah, we went and we drove to Idaho and Utah, Arizona. So we've driven that route a lot of times. It's scary. Oh, in the mountains in northern Idaho. Yeah, that can be scary. Welcome in, Joanne and Holly. Mount Vernon area is very pretty. Yes. And so is the area I lived in. Sage Mama spent a year in Utah in the Layton area. Utah is very beautiful. You must be military if you spent a year in the Layton area. That's my guess. Maybe not. So bug guts, and if you are, thank you for whoever in your family is in the service. Yeah, it's her neck of the woods. That's where she lives. Oh, you had a friend who stayed, or lost her husband, so I stayed with. Oh, that's so nice of you. New Mexico. Chell is here. No questions about where you live, maybe, but sometimes people have the state they wish they lived in, like mine. My username is actually my initials, and the AZ stands for Arizona. Little known fact, that's kind of where I was born and raised in Utah, but both of my parents are from Arizona. My husband's from Arizona. That's my heritage, and I lived in Arizona as an adult for 25 plus years, and I wish I still lived there. So that's I don't know. I mean, I love living in Utah because I have a lot of family here and there's a lot of good things here and it's beautiful, but I like Arizona. I like the vibe, I like the weather. So, yeah. I'm hoping to go back. So your family's in Indiana, but you're in New Mexico, right? All right. So we're having fun talks about all of that. What's everyone need help with on Whatnot? Fern's Attic, welcome in. Becca, welcome in. Read the show notes. Lily Lane Vintage is here, and I'm here on the treadmill. I really am walking. So no family drama, no tornadoes, and no snow. Yes, that is true. And right now, oh my goodness, who's been in areas that have been having these horrible storms? You're probably not here because you probably don't have power. We have some sellers on our fabric group that were 5 miles away from tornadoes hitting down, touching down. It's so scary. And I'm with you. No tornadoes in Arizona and nicer weather. In Utah, we don't get tornadoes either. Good morning, Desiree. How are you? All right. So, show notes. Make sure you have everything that's in the show notes screenshotted for future reference. And Felicia Quilts is here. Welcome. A quilt in a name is one of my heart people. And so is anyone with the word sew or fabric or things like that in your name. So Desiree's doing well, hoping for a sunny day in California. It's been gloomy lately. Yeah, I was telling you, we're just getting sun this morning, which is nice because it was rainy and gloomy all day yesterday. Just Something About It is loading up a bunch of shows, trying something new. Ooh, tell us what you're trying. Lily Lane bookmarked Desiree's shows. Awesome. Hey, CG Boomerang, how are you? Everybody follow CG Boomerang. She does the Whatnot. Oh, I always forget what they're called. The Whatnot shows that it's like the contest shows. And she took over from our good friend. So give her a follow if you want to participate in those fun shows they're on Sundays. So I kind of bowed out of doing those anymore because I don't do shows on Sundays. But tell us what you've got going on. If you have more raid trains coming up, people follow CG if you want to look at the raid trains that she organizes. So, what is it called? Why can I never remember? Best of Whatnot. No, that's not it. Tell me what it is, CG. All right. Just Something About It. I'm opening a brick and mortar store. So I'm hoping to do a show an hour before I opened. It's called The Daily 20, and I'll be selling 20 super curated items. That's exciting. Very cool. And remind me, is your stuff kind of like the vintage kind of stuff? Please see my comment on the show notes. Oh, did I miss one? Let me look. Sorry. On show notes, I found you can copy and paste. Oh, you can copy and paste the show notes now? Really? Really? Let me try. How do you do it? Well, oh, you know what? It won't let me because I'm in my own account, but let me see if I can do it on this other one. How do you copy and paste? Okay, it's not letting me on the Android phone. So do tell how you did it. You have to hit it and select all. Okay, so I hit it. So you're just like holding it down because it's not letting me do it on the Android, and I can't do it on this iPad because I'm logged into my own account, and it just it goes into edit mode. Okay, so everybody try it. Tell me if it's true. Because if that's true, that's awesome. If you can copy and paste the show notes now. I'll try it on someone else's show today. Lily Lane is in a vintage linens raid train tomorrow night. Ooh, I love vintage linens. I have to be careful on those trains. Appreciate follows bookmarks on shows. So everyone go bookmark Lily Lane Vintage Raid Train show tomorrow. Vintage linens. I've already got it bookmarked, of course. Not surprised. So very cool. I love vintage linens. You've got some really cool shows coming up. So good stuff going on there. All right. So just something about it says, remind me. Let's see. Oh, I don't see your other comment. So in general vintage decor. Okay, but occasionally I do ephemera or other specific categories and hoping to add vintage clothing. I love vintage clothing. There's quite a few sellers, but I don't see them as often. I don't know, maybe because I kind of stopped going into those shows because I just didn't have time. And so it doesn't show them to me as much. Lisa by Design Studio says, I tried a new night last night. Sunday is my regular day. Had a new crowd and got 7 new buyers. I've seen a lot of new names, not a lot of regular customers. So that's exciting. 7 new buyers. Okay. That's exciting. So that's a reminder to always try and switch things up sometimes. Just try something else new to, find some new people, find a new time, find a new day, join some raid trains. All those good things are important, because if you get into too much of a rut and you don't even realize, if it's like going good but not great, try something new, because I do think having a consistent schedule is important, but I also think, doing other new things, trying new things really does make a difference too, because the algorithms, if you kind of go in and mess it up a little bit, it's going to shake things up and you'll find some new pathways of success. So I think that's important. Desiree, I really want to organize a raid train in the future. So if you sell athletic, athleisure, women's fashion, feel free to message me if you'd be interested. Very cool. So yeah, there you go. If you have that on your inventory, be sure and message her. And congrats. Yeah. Exciting. New Mexico Shell is trying to hold it down. Watch for the white sign. Try holding it down. Watch for the white sign that says copy. So yeah, I tried that on my Android phone over here. So I'll try holding it down. Yeah, nothing's coming up. It's just, nothing. So maybe not on Android. And like I said, I can't do it on this phone because I'm in the show under my account, and it just goes into edit mode when it's your own account. So I'll have to try it on someone else's show today and see if it works. Yeah. So that's very cool though. Good to know. So let me know if anyone else tried it and was successful. Do you have iPhone, New Mexico? Speaking of, I just got a brand new iPhone yesterday. And let me tell you, I don't know what's more painful, trying to buy a new car or trying to get a new phone. Both experiences, in my opinion, are about as bad as going to the dentist. We just got a raid from Mary Lack. Mary, thank you so much for the raid. Everybody give Mary Lack a follow. She's awesome. And Mary, here's Mary's profile. She does estate sale, yard sale, auction, resell, all that good stuff. She's adorable. And let's bookmark her next upcoming shows, because I know she's been listening and she's got shows on her schedule. There's one tomorrow. No, not tomorrow. The 5th and the 8th and the 15th and the 22nd. Another one on the 22nd, on the 29th, the 5th, the 12th, the 19th, the 26th, and the 3rd. She's doing what she should be. She has shows scheduled out. And she's got, you've got fabric on the 8th. So is the fabric on the 8th your own stuff or something you acquired? Do tell. Oh, and she's got a quilting rulers and fabric, sewing gadgets. Very cool. So craft supplies out the wazoo and sewing and fabric. Very cool. All right, let's see. CG responded, I host a Raid Train 101 show every Thursday night, 10 p.m. Eastern. Please come hang out if you're interested in Raid Trains. Ooh, good to know. So everybody go bookmark CG Boomerang's Raid Train 101 show for Thursday. That's tonight, right? Oh, no, wait, is today Thursday? Yes, today's Thursday. So tonight, 10 p.m. Eastern, late night, learn about Raid Trains. And like I said, she hosts a lot of Raid Trains and has some opportunities for you to get into Raid Trains. Let's go view her profile. She has that website you can go to, boomerangecho.com, to sign up for Raid Trains. And here is that Raid Train etiquette show on her schedule tonight, 8 p.m. my time, I'm Mountain Time. And then the one that she does that I was trying to remember the name of, where is it? Are we still doing it? I'm not seeing it. I'm seeing all your other Raid Trains. Battle of the Best. That's the one that I was trying to remember. Battle of the Best. Those are a lot of fun. So make sure you are following CG and go check out her profile, bookmark her show tonight if you want to make sure you understand Raid Trains. And I'm seeing a $5 Friday Freakout Raid Train. I'll have to check that out because maybe that's one I would want to do since it's not on a Sunday. Very cool. All right, so everybody give CG a follow. All right, let's see. Welcome in everybody that joined us in that raid and who has joined us. Happy Hanger raided with a party of 20. Thank you so much for the raid. Everybody give Happy Hanger a follow. Let's go view Happy Hanger's profile. Stephanie thrifts most of her items. Shows are in the morning, 6 a.m. Eastern. And she's got one tomorrow. Dollar starts. That's her mantra on her thumbnail. We're going to talk about dollar starts, you guys, in our community support show this month. That's kind of our topic, is should you do dollar starts? What are some other strategies you might use better if dollar starts may not work for you? Okay. I'm not saying dollar starts are necessarily a bad thing, but it's a bad thing if you can't get bids, right? Then you're selling everything for $1. So we're going to talk about that kind of in depth on my community support show that is scheduled for, let me tell you, the 14th. So make sure you have that show scheduled. That's what we're going to talk about, is selling formats, pricing strategies. What can you do other than dollar starts, which are not the best idea for everyone, to promote, bidding, sales, and so on. So make sure you have that one bookmarked. So we're going to talk a lot about different strategies for pricing and selling formats. And welcome in everybody that joined with Happy Hanger. Appreciate it. Please make sure you look at the show notes. And apparently, if you're on an iPhone, you can now copy and paste show notes. Someone just successfully did that. So everyone try it that's on an iPhone and let me know. All right, Holly Baker, is there a day and time you think is best and length of first show? So day and time is up to your schedule and what works for you. And then you play with what works for you to figure out which one is best. Because there honestly is no best day and time, because there's 24 hours in a day and people are on this app 24 hours a day. And it just depends on when you can go live, what works for you, and you experiment with the times that work for you and find the one that works the best. And length of show, you need to be on a minimum of 1 hour, and that is the bare minimum. And you really should be on 3 hours your first show, so that you can make sure you're on long enough to practice, to interact with your audience, to really learn how to run a show. And you need to act as if you have 100 people in the room, even if you don't, because that's how you start getting an audience, is staying on long enough for them to find you. Okay, so that's the answer to that one. Holly says, I'm hoping to host my first show towards the end of the month. I work full time, so it would need to be a weekend or night show selling fabric. And that's fine, Holly. It will work to do it when it works for you. Honestly, that's the truth, the best answer. Let's see. Does a catchy title help get people in? Absolutely. But I think the thumbnail is more important than the title, because everything's very visual. So people want to see a catchy, fun, exciting thumbnail, and you can have words in it that are just as important as the title. Let's see. Every Thursday is fabric and sewing items yard sale on Monday. Sandy's Creations. Let's see. She collected over her lifetime to clear out. Oh, you're clearing out your mom's estate? Did I miss something? Lily Lane, you are so welcome. Thank you for bookmarking my shows. What iPhone did I get? I got the 16. Not the E, the one under. I got the one that has the double cameras because I like having the better camera. But I didn't go up from there because I felt like the cost didn't justify. There's a few extras on the two levels above that, 16 something, and anyway, so I was good with that. All right. So yeah, I don't know how New Mexico was able to do it. Everybody else tried. If you're on iPhone, go to the show notes, hold down, and she said it brought up an option to copy. So yeah. Let me catch up in the chat here. Let's see. Moxiana says, I'm only doing $1 starts while I get to 1K sold. It's items coming from my resale shop, as I would not sell my handmade for that, as those go for 50 plus. Yeah. And I agree. But there are a lot of sellers who that's kind of their format. And if you have big enough audience, the $1 start really is just kind of like, let's get this auction going, because it's going to get bid up 99% of the time in those shows. But for new sellers who don't have a big audience, it really doesn't make sense, because at the end of the day, you only make about 30 cents on that transaction. And, most of your items are worth more than that, or should be. And so, yeah, you can use it to boost your sales numbers, but in the long run, is it really doing you any favors? So that's the kind of thought around that. Teresa, I'm interested in getting started, but no clue what to do first. So Teresa, have you already applied to sell and got approved? That's obviously the first step. And then after that, you need to do Seller Academy, which is one of the star bullets in the show notes. You need to go in and do all the tutorials, watch all the videos, make sure you know how to use whatnot. And coming to these shows is good, because that's helping you figure out all those things. Okay. Let's see. Holly. Let's see. There was a comment about Holly getting a show scheduled so we can all bookmark it. Yes. Get shows scheduled. You know, that's the very first thing on my top 10 list is once you've been approved, get a show scheduled, even if it's a week or two or a month out. Get a show on your schedule so that people can start bookmarking it so that when you're ready to go live, you already have a bunch of bookmarks. Okay. Bobbin and Weaving says Dollar Start was definitely a no-go for me. Yeah. It just doesn't work for a lot of people. Yes, Noxian is right. Dollar starts are good for great for sellers that have big volume, large following, sell items that are in demand because it's going to get bid up. Yep. Okay. So Lily Lane says copying the show notes worked for me. Awesome. So it looks like if you're on an iPhone, and I tried it on my Android over here and it didn't work. I'll have to try it when I'm not walking. Tori says, should we stay on for 3 hours even if we don't get a crowd? Yes, I would, because the people who come in and out for the first hour are not necessarily the same same people that come in later, and you want to do whatever it takes to keep an audience. But when you're brand new, you have to stay on for long enough for people to find you, because the way the app works, people come in the app and it shows them shows in the categories that they're, that they put interest, that they checked that they wanted to follow. And if they follow your category, but you're way down here in the list of shows that are available because you're new, it's going to take a while for that to filter through and for them to find you as they go in and out of shows. So you've got to be on there for a long time to get found. So yeah, stay on as long as you can. The longer your shows, 9 dimes is right. The more opportunity to sell, the more opportunity for more people to find you. And I know it's difficult, but I know a lot of new sellers who go live, stay on for like 15, 20 minutes, and they're like, well, nobody's coming. I'm out of here. And if they keep doing that, they are never going to get an audience because they're never staying on long enough to get an audience, to get found. Okay, you've got to stay on long enough. And like I said, the bare minimum is an hour, but you really should stay on 2 or 3. Holly says, I just scheduled my first show, May 24th, 10 a.m. We'll add late details later. So everybody, please go follow Holly, first of all, and go bookmark that show she scheduled. And now, Holly, make sure that you have more scheduled as well. Okay, so that's great. You've got one on there. We can bookmark it. Get some more scheduled as well. So schedule another one like a week later or something so that we have a couple of shows to bookmark. And you can always change the date, the time, whatever. Okay. And Holly is a fabric lover who loves to sew with vintage and vintage inspired fabrics. Obsessed with strawberry fabric, gingham, and pin dots. Love it. So very cool. So everybody give Holly a follow and bookmark that first show for her. All right, let's see. I tried running items faster Sunday night and it was the best show you've ever had. Yes. People like faster paced shows. I mean, think about it. We're in a world now where everything just moves like boom, boom, boom. People's attention span, I mean, people have the attention span of a gnat, it seems like nowadays, right? Because everything is visual, everything is social media, everything is online, everything is just boom, boom, boom. And it's reality. And so generally, the faster you can run a show, it's just statistically that you're going to sell more if you run them faster, right? But also you keep people's attention. It's kind of the same idea of, if you go into a movie or you go to some kind of speech or class, and if the person talking is droning on and it's slow paced and it's moving slow, what do? You fall asleep, right? Or you leave because you're like, I'm falling asleep. So, faster paced shows keep the momentum, keep people active, keep people interested. It's going to run better. Okay. Um, do you suggest changing inventory if the ones you are showing aren't moving at the time? Yes, absolutely. But also always have items loaded in your buy it now so that if what you're selling in your auction isn't of interest to some people, they're also going to shop your buy it now. So, because if you have a fun interactive show, but they aren't necessarily interested in the auction items, they will also go shop your buy it now. So, always have both places fully loaded. Yes, whatnot buyers are addicted to speed. I mean, we have raid trains that are 5-10 minute shows and run your items in 5 seconds and sudden death and all that. Faster is better, right? The faster your pace, the higher whatnot algorithm will go. Yes. So if you're running quick auctions, it's showing ching ching ching, transactions, boom boom boom. And that means people are there, people are buying, and you are going to go up higher in algorithm. Absolutely. Purple Turtle, good morning. How are you? I haven't seen you in a while. Hey, Stasa, how are you this morning? All right. So let me pin my top 10 tips list, thinking about all that stuff. And if you haven't seen this before, hi, Stasa, Bristle, Thistle, welcome in. Make sure you screenshot my top 10. You just tap the document that I pinned like that, tap it again, make it bigger, and screenshot it. Okay. All right. Lighthouse. If we don't have enough items to show in an hour or 3 hour show, should we just go over the items again a few times? Yes. Because the people that are in your show at the beginning, usually by the end of the show, if you're on for 3 hours, you have a totally different audience. You may have a few faithfuls who stick with you. And here's the funny thing. This is what's hilarious to me. You'll have an item that you've run maybe once or twice, shown it, nobody, right? But the minute someone asks for it, suddenly everyone wants to bid on it. Or it's something that you show a third time and there's a bidder, and suddenly everyone who was already there and had opportunities to bid on it before suddenly are bidding on it. It's called FOMO. Fear of missing out. Suddenly someone likes it and wants it. Well, now everybody else wants it too, right? So yeah, I would suggest that you always have about 20 to 30 items pre-listed. Pictures, details, everything looks really good in your auction, because that's how people know what you're going to offer. And then you have, a lot more. If you have time to list more than that, do it. The more you have listed, the faster paced show you can run. And then you could do random pulls using generic listings also. So always have a listing that is just, items as shown by weight. And use a fake picture, meaning don't put a picture on it that's an actual item, because then people are wanting that actual item that you don't actually have. So let me show you an example of that. Let's see. Tori says, I have 3 racks and random things all over. Should I only be working with 1 rack a show? It's overwhelming. So if it gets overwhelming, just organize it better in a way that you've got, what you have set for that show, on the 1 rack. But then you kind of also have to have backup plan. I'll be honest. You just don't know what people are going to want. And if everything you put on rack 1 that was your plan for that show is not going over, you're going to probably need to switch racks. You know what I mean? So I know it gets overwhelming. Try to have some kind of organization system that works for you so you can keep track, of your items. Watch people who are really organized, how they use numbering systems, bin systems, and figure out what's going to work best for you. Let's see. Yeah, 300 items is enough for an 8-hour show if you want to go that long. I don't do 8-hour shows. I don't have the stamina for that. Let's see. It only takes 10 seconds per item, but I could go over them 3 or 4 times. Yeah. And you could. Yeah. Let's see. Yes, I feel that I'll keep it the way I have it. It is organized. It's just so much different inventory. Yeah. And I get that. But curate your show, do what you feel is best, but then always have backup plans because you just don't know. Let's see. After your show is done, can you go back and see who won in case you missed? So the answer to that, yes, is Holly. Yes, you can watch the video replay of the entire show, and it does a video receipt on that specific person. So when you go to ship items, the orders, it has a video receipt attached to that. But don't rely 100% on that because it's not always 100% accurate. So come up with some kind of system, either numbering system where you have a listing. Well, if you have a specific listing for an item, you'll know exactly what they bought because they bought that listing. If you're selling out of a random pool listing, it numbers them for you. So put a sticker on the item with the number that's sold if you need to do that, or have a bin system where if you have help, bin systems work pretty good. If you don't have help, numbering systems probably work better. So yeah, just depends. Just watch other sellers. I use a bin system because Bert helps me. My husband helps me with shows. So I hand it to him. He makes a bin with that person's name on it, and everything they buy goes in their bin. It's much easier system for shipping than the numbering system. But if you work alone, the numbering system's much better because you can quickly number an item and then go back and assign the numbers to the person who bought that number. And if you need help figuring out numbering, just ask. All right, let me show you what I mean by a generic listing. So yeah, video receipts definitely can save your life. Let's see. Dazzle says I do aesthetic specific shows for that reason. I also separate my beauty product shows, my palette shows, my boutique shows. Yeah, it's better to curate a show so that it is, kind of based around one type of item, one theme. They're more fun that way too because you've got it all set up nice and you can, have a specific plan. But like I said, sometimes your plan is not what people are buying that day. So you have to kind of have a backup. I have a question about the buy it now and running a show. What if you're running a show, but someone buys it through the buy it now? How do you keep something? Oh, how do you keep track? So if they buy it in your buy it now that is in your auction, it's just part of the show. If they buy it in your marketplace and it wasn't an item that you had in your show, it actually will be a separate transaction. So if it's purchased in your bin that is part of the live show bin, so there's 2 different buy it nows. There's the buy it now that's the marketplace buy it now, items that are available 24/7. There are items that are buy it now in your auctions. And when you list items, you tell whatnot in the listing, whether you want it to be reserved for live or not. If it's not reserved for live, it will show up on the 24/7 marketplace on your profile. If you want it to only be available for lives, toggle that on, and then it will only be available in your buy it now during live shows. So there's a difference. It's not really a difference. It's just how you set it up. If you have it set up for marketplace and shows, it's available in both places. Okay. So that's how. Just something about it. So you missed the last 20 minutes. Well, guess what? I multicast onto YouTube. So if you missed some of the show, you can go to my YouTube channel. It's in the show notes, and you can watch the live from what you missed. So everybody go into my show notes. My YouTube channel is Draz on Whatnot, all one word, lowercase, and you can watch past shows under lives. So go to my YouTube channel, go to lives, and all my shows are there. I leave them up for quite a while. I'll probably go in and start deleting really old ones, but everything new is there and it's dated, so you'll be able to see which one you missed. All right. Let's see. Yeah, just go subscribe to my YouTube channel, and yeah, you can do that. Okay, I was going to show you generic listings, what they look like. So here's my show that's later today. I'm going into the auction tab, and I'm just going to show you what my generic listings look like. So these are the ones that I use for random pulls. Okay, so if someone wants an item that I don't have listed, I have these kind of listings in every auction. And see how it just says craft or fabric items 2 to 3 pounds. Craft or fabric items 1 to 4 ounces. So I just have a bunch of listings like that. And see how I put a drawn picture on there? Is I don't want people to pre-bid on those, A. And B, I don't want it to be an item that actually exists, because then they'll be asking for it. Okay. Why delete YouTube is forever? Because having mostly live streams on your YouTube account apparently hurts your algorithms, because I do more lives than I do videos. Way more. So I do shorts and lives and not so many videos. That's why. All right. So I don't know. We'll see. I haven't really deleted very many. I've gone in and deleted just a few that were actual shows, auctions, that were odd ones like raid trains or 5-minute raid trains, things like that. But the walk and talks and seller chats, I probably won't delete for any time soon. Can I explain mods? Yes. So a moderator is someone who is given authority to do a certain number of things in your show, and they help monitor the chat. And the way that you moderate someone is you just click on their name and allow them to moderate. So let me, so 9 Dimes, okay? 9 Dimes. I'm going to click 9 Dimes, their name, and I get this pop-up menu when I click. I can view their profile, message them, mention in chat, allow to moderate is the next one. So I'm going to click on allow to moderate, and I'm going to click yes. So 9 Dimes, say something in chat, and you'll see that 9 Dimes now has authority to moderate in this show. So 9 Dimes, give us a comment and show that you're now modding. Did 9 Dimes leave? Are you still here, 9 Dimes? Did I pick the wrong person? Lisa by Design. We'll do Lisa by Design. Lisa by Design is now moderating also. So 9 Dimes or Lisa by Design, give us a hello. Show that you're now a moderator. There we go. So see how Lisa by Design Studio now has a mod next to her name? All right, and then there's a couple of tools that moderators can use. See that little dash, backslash next to the chat bar? If you're a moderator or the seller, you can click that, and you can use those 3 tools to monitor chat. You can hide messages, You can do announcements or you can do slow mode in the chat. And then the other thing it gives you power to do is you can click on people's names and you can remove them from the show or block them. So that will show up when you click someone's name if you have that ability. Okay. So that's when you click someone's name. And Blaze and Bunny, I just followed you because I clicked your name. Good morning. All right. So that's what a moderator is. How do you choose moderators? Well, you pick trusted people who come to your shows all the time that you can tell they're not going to do anything weird, and you trust them and you can allow them to moderate. Now, if they don't work out, don't allow them to moderate anymore. Because you do need to be careful to not pick someone who's going to like take over your chat or make rude comments or block people arbitrarily or anything like that. So, yeah. Is it per show? Yes. But once you've had someone be a moderator, you can put them regularly on, start putting them regularly, and it will default and put them on there regularly as you schedule shows. So if you have someone that you trust that you want to be your regular moderator, you can do that. Stasa, thank you for the tip. That was very generous of you. And you are so welcome. And that's right, you are Amy. Thank you so much. So appreciate that. Let me just scroll back really quick and see if I missed anything in chat. So, all right. So I have my top 10 tips pinned. Pumpkin Coach Express, welcome in. So if you haven't screenshotted those, again, just tap that document I have pinned, tap it again, make it big. This is my top 10 tips for sellers. This became a thing because when I started doing these shows, people were constantly asking about all these things. And I was having to repeat myself over and over and say, do this, do this, do this, do this. So I'm like, we need a list. So here's the list of all the things that you should be doing consistently to be able to have good, consistent growth and be successful as a seller on Whatnot. Now, it's not one size fits all, okay? Because if you look at this list, it's not super detailed. It just tells you schedule shows, go live, list, stay live, get feedback, run, raid, do raid trains, get help, and engage. Those are the big, bold words on there, right? Well, everybody has a different schedule. Everybody can stay on different time lengths. Everybody has a different way of listing and how many you can list and all that stuff. There's some specific ones on here. Get feedback. That should be a consistent thing. Always get feedback from your audience. Ask questions, do polls, get feedback so that you know that if what you're doing and how you're doing it and everything is working and they like it. So always try and get feedback from your audience, either, directly by asking or by doing polls, to get feedback. But the basics are making sure you have good lighting, good sound, and a good internet connection. Those three things can totally ruin your whole start on Whatnot, and you may not even realize it. If you don't realize that your lighting sucks and nobody tells you and you didn't ask, that people could just come in and leave immediately and you don't even know why. Right? So always get feedback, always ask. Okay? That's my number 5 tip. Number 6, run your items. Don't just show items. Always run, 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 run. If you pick something up, run it. Don't just show it. People are often afraid to run items. And here's the other tip. If you're going to run it for the price you need to make. Don't be afraid to run items. at a price that you want to make on that item, even if you think it's not what people are going to want to pay. Because nothing's worse than running all your items cheaper than you wanted, selling them all at that price, and then feeling dejected and demoralized because nothing got bid up. So do run items, but run them at a fair price that you can sell them for. Raid, always raid. Okay. Right. And then seeing that person making 3 times what you sold it for, right? Yeah, exactly. Ronnie's right. All right. Always raid, join raid trains, get help, engage. Anyway, make sure you read the top 10 list and ask questions about it. I feel weird running an item for 10 seconds. Why? Why, Lighthouse? Do you feel like your audience can't do 10 seconds? Do 15. I often do 15 more than I do 10 because I sell fabric, crafts, quilting, sewing. My audience tends to be a little bit slower paced. We have a lot of older ladies. I usually do 15 seconds instead of 10. But what I also do is I lower the time between bids, because you can do the time between bids is like 3, 5. I do usually a 5-second between bids. That helps speed it up a little bit. So if people are bidding on it, it speeds it up. Let's see. Oh, because every 10 seconds I'm tapping on my screen to start a new auction. Yeah, well, yeah, so just try different things and see what works best for your audience. Jan's resin. I tried to do a raid last night, but couldn't figure out how to do it. Okay, let me just show you really quick. Okay, so to end a show, you push the little down arrow right up here in your screen. Boom. What are the 3 options? Minimize, create a raid, or end. If you create a raid, so let's tap that. It gives you suggestions of who you can raid. And it also has a space where you can just type in a name. If you don't know how to search for someone, just do one of their suggestions. That's better than nothing. But a way to be more prepared is to go look and see, kind of who's going to be live around the same time as you are coming up after you, and have a plan of who you're going to raid, and that will make it a little bit smoother. Okay. And then once you click the person, it just brings it up and you can just hit raid. Okay. So pretty easy. Yeah. Yeah. You didn't, yeah. And that's normal, It's like you click that and you're like, oh, I didn't even notice that's what it said. So yeah. It's very easy to raid. All right. You are so welcome. Let's see. Let me just check and see if I missed. Hey, Farmhouse, welcome in. Snazzy Cat Sews and Bonnie Brickle. And anyone else that joined, welcome in. Thanks for being here. Please read the show notes. And so one thing we discovered new today is that if you're on iPhone and you click the show notes and you hold down, it will allow you to copy and paste. I couldn't see that worked on my Android phone. So try it out and see if it works for you. Because that's a lot nicer than having to screenshot it into a photo, I think. So, all right. So what's everybody got going on today? When's your next shows? Hopefully everybody's got exciting, fun things coming up. Miss Vivian, thank you for the tip. Appreciate that. Very kind of you. Very kind of you. What does Miss Vivian do? Let's check. Oh, I didn't have you followed. So I got you followed. And Miss Vivian has a beautiful family. And she has shows scheduled for the third reseller bundles, contemporary, women's contemporary. Let's get these shows bookmarked for Ms. Vivian. And thanks for being here. Very nice shows. I'll show you her profile here really quick after I get some of these bookmarked. And of course, I bumped myself out. All right, Ms. Vivian's. You are so welcome. So here's Miss Vivian's. Look at that beautiful smile and family. And here's her shows. So everyone go bookmark Miss Vivian's shows coming up. And she's doing the right thing. She's got shows scheduled out through, I'm still scrolling, through September. Way to go. Way to go. And look at some of the bookmark numbers she's got on here, possibly because she had them scheduled and moved them. But that's a good strategy. You know, have some scheduled, move them out, get bookmarks, and then move them out if you need to. Because then you've got future shows that already have a lot of bookmarks. Okay, very cool. All right, just don't do too much of that moving around stuff. And I would say I have seen people who have like 3 or 4 shows scheduled on the same day that are the exact same thing. That's confusing. So if you're using that strategy, make sure you move them out further before that date comes up close, because you don't want people confused about, all right, this looks fishy. Why do you have, 3 shows scheduled all at once, right? Makes no sense. All right, so I need to get going here. So I'm going to find someone for us to raid. And again, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel and you can watch past shows. I'm on the Walk and Talk every Tuesday and Thursday morning. And then I have in person in front of the camera shows. The next one I have coming up is on the 14th, and we're going to be talking about selling strategies, pricing strategies, and whether or not you are a good candidate for dollar starts, stuff like that. So make sure you have that show bookmarked. And we're going to go find someone to raid. Let me see who we can raid into. And then make sure in my auction tab, anytime you want, all the documents I have listed in my auction tab are there for you to scan and screenshot. And I just saw Purple Turtle. I'm going through all my wood block stamps and listed a lot of them of mini brand items. And I've list a lot of mini brand items. Oh, good. Awesome. All right, so let's go see who we can raid into. And let's see, Philly Flipper's on doing a community show still, so we're going to head over there. He's awesome. He does dollar starts, but you'll see why he can. All right, so here we go over to Philly Flipper. Have a great day, everyone. See you soon.